Today it's a battle of the off-road ready crossovers.
In this corner, I have the 2022 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road.
And in this corner, I have the Subaru Forester Wilderness. Which is better when the going gets tough? We're gonna find out right now on Driving Sports TV. Bam, 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 bam. Just recently, car makers have started to jump onto the off-road bandwagon with adventure-ready versions of their most popular crossovers.
For the RAV4, Toyota tapped into their TRD division, adding specially tuned suspension, 8.6 inches of ground clearance, a skid plate, and all-terrain tires. Under the hood is a durable 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, producing up to 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. This is connected to a standard 8-speed automatic. Power goes to all four wheels with Toyota's dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, enhanced with multi-terrain select off-road programs. As you see it here, with tech and winter packages, you're looking at $40,460 US, including destination.
On the Subaru side, we have the Forester Wilderness. Now, this vehicle has been provided to us by Subaru for an extended loan, so you'll be able to see this pop up in a lot of videos in the coming months. Like the RAV4, this has been enhanced with more ground clearance and all-terrain tires. But here, Subaru ups the ante with 9.2 inches of ground clearance. The Forester also has off-road tuned suspension, a trail camera, additional recovery points, and a factory skid plate. Approach, departure, and breakover are all improved over the standard Forester. The Subaru is powered by a 2.5-liter boxer four-cylinder engine producing up to 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to a CVT with a wider ratio and revised final drive. An extra transmission cooler keeps temperatures in check. Symmetrical all-wheel drive is of course standard, and here it's enhanced with Subaru's dual X-Mode off-road programs. Prices you see it here with no extra options from the factory, $33,945 US, including destination. And though this does come with a factory skid plate, I actually removed it and replaced it with a primitive racing skid plate, which is thicker. Now that's not going to affect the overall competition, and I figure, hey, we're going to have this for several months. More protection is always better. The format for today will be lead follow here at the Tahuya Off-Road Park in Washington State. Basically, I'll find an obstacle with the Subaru Forester, and then Nick's gonna have to follow me through with the Toyota RAV4. And with that, it's time to head out. I am so stoked for today. This is going to be fun. Today we have two drivers, we have both vehicles, and we're gonna really see which one is better. I can't tell you of a better day that I will have than today.
All right. So let's get on the trail. We have an exciting day. It's Subaru versus Toyota. Some people think Toyota is the end-all be-all. Some people think Subaru's the end-all be-all. Today we're going to find out.
So we are doing lead follow on this, and I'm in the front, and there's two reasons I'm in front. First off, I actually have a front-facing trail cam, which Nick does not have, which will help me set the line. Further, I have better underbody protection. So if there is something that is too difficult for this vehicle, it'll help us save that vehicle, any unnecessary dinging.
Today's matchup is pretty interesting. It's Subaru versus Toyota, which is a long-held rivalry in some people's books. You know, Toyota makes trucks and large SUVs, and Subaru is mostly in the crossover segment. But with this RAV4 coming in the TRD Off-Road trim, I think it definitely competes with that Wilderness. So today we're going to definitely see if that ground clearance advantage of the Wilderness comes into play against this TRD Off-Road. I do think that I have the better tire with the Falcon AT Trails. He has a Yokohama Geolander, I think ATs or HTs, and he thinks he has a better tire, but we're gonna see.
Now Tahuya here, this is a really great off-road vehicle park. We brought a pair of trucks out here just a couple months ago. The biggest thing with Tahuya really is designed for pretty extreme vehicles, but there are some places we can take these vehicles that'll really test the all-wheel drive capabilities. We're not looking at highway today, we're not looking at MPGs, none of that. This is all about capability of the vehicle when the pavement ends. So our first location is going to be an area that is covered with trees, and there's a lot of tilts. We actually had some trouble getting through there with the trucks, but these are smaller. So I think we'll do better with it today. So here is the first obstacle, if you want to call it that. It's a water crossing, and I have no idea how deep this is, but you know, we've been through here before. I'm assuming it'll be no problem, but I'll go through first and then you can follow. You ready?
Ready. Let's try not to water lock or hydro lock these motors.
Yeah, never hydro locked a motor yet, but hey, the day is young.
There's a first time for everything, Ryan.
Boy, this is where you start to have the question. Do I put it into X mode? Do I not put it into X mode? There's no downside from putting it into X mode, and I want to make sure that I have enough power shifting around the system. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into dirt snow. They don't have a big puddle setting, unfortunately. So this does have 9.2 inches of ground clearance, which isn't quite as good as the Outback Wilderness, but you know what? It's good enough for a vehicle like this, I think. Plus, this has a shorter wheelbase, so you get much better breakover. Okay, no problem at all. I think Nick will be fine.
Water crossings are fun and all, and it's fun to blow through them and make a big splash. There are risks associated with it, so you just got to be careful.
Okay, ready for this? I think you'll be fine.
I don't know, that extra ground clearance got you through pretty good. As you can see, it's rocked me back and forth a little bit. Just small rocks under there, nothing crazy. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal at all. Just have to be careful. It is probably good to run through a puddle first before you go 30 miles an hour through it and try to get that awesome Instagram photo.
So Nick, this is an opportunity to really test out how these terrain systems work on the vehicle. I'm going to put it into snow dirt mode because we are doing this steep tilt, but also there's that root, which is going to be a real potential issue. So I want to see how both these vehicles deal with it. And also I want to see how you deal with it.
Now you're going to be in snow dirt mode, is that what you said?
Yeah, this is otherwise known as X Mode Type 1. This is the version of X Mode that is in all Subarus. All Subarus that have X Mode.
Gotcha. So I have a rock and dirt mode and a mud and sand. What should I run that in your opinion?
Well, rock and dirt will have less wheel spin. The sand setting will have more wheel spin. So because of the stump on the root on the inside that we're going to be encountering, I would think that you would want less wheel spin.
Okay, then I'm just going to keep it in rock and dirt and we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, the general consensus on these systems is that you start with the least amount of wheel spin and you only turn it up if you really need it. Obviously, if you're trying to cross a very sandy thing, then you just want to go into sand mode initially. But if you're not sure, you start with the basic. So what this system does is it'll apply brakes onto the four corners of the vehicle as there is slip detected. And that'll then prevent power from leaching out of the system, which then puts it to wheels with grip. So I'm going to turn on my front trail camera so I can see where my alignment is. I can actually see that route really well. This camera is just fine. It might be small, but it is usable, and that is the most important metric. So I'm going to try not to scratch anything here. We're going to get a lot of tilt as I go fairly high up the bank, and then we're going to run into, I can feel that I'm teeter-tottering, so I'm already like not having grip on a couple tires, or at least one tire. And now we have that rear root in the way. Oh. Okay, well that was easy. Way easier than I thought. Let's see how Nick does.
Yeah, so you kind of straddled the inside of the root itself.
Yeah, I can see right where I did it here. I did it right on the easiest spot. That's where I was aiming. I just thought it would be slipperier. Well, let's see how well you do.
Cool. And now since I do have a worse approach, departure, and ground clearance, you want to just keep an eye on me and just holler if anything looks bad.
I will scream.
All right, let's give this a shot. So you made it through no problem.
It'd be handy to have a trail cam right about now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice to have a trail camera. That is for sure. I can't see anything. I'm just going off of pure feel, using my mirrors. The sensors are freaking out. It would be nice to have a trail camera.
Yeah.
I can't see anything in that spot. I'm really just going off of what I remember seeing.
Yeah.
And then just looking at where this tree is and where that tree is in relation. Yeah, and I can already see the comments. Why are you going so slow through that? Listen, you can't see anything, and these are brand new cars. We're not trying to just bash into things. The issue with that route that kind of scared me is that since these are a lower profile tire than, like, say what's on a Bronco or a Cherokee, like I said.
Yeah.
You do have to kind of be careful going over routes like that, because if you do go up that hill and then slide into that can just pop a bead easily.
Yeah.
And then we're in a tight trail. So
What, this doesn't have bead lockers? I am shocked.
No.
Shocked.
I'm sure there's someone out there that's going to do it, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay, well, let's head on. I think there's some more of these, and I think they're more extreme. So let's see what we got.
Cool.
Okay, we got some tilts here, some roots as we continue on. Oh yeah, this looks deep. Let's turn on that front camera again. It does shut off when you get going quicker. Got to watch for that root on the inside. That'll damage a body panel. So this looks like it could potentially be deep. May not be. I don't know. You want to go out and spot me? Basically take a look and let me know if I start to get up halfway through the body panels. Although that would be ridiculous and I would be shocked.
Yeah, I don't think this puddle's going to be that deep, but I'll get out and look. But I do believe there is a puddle here in Tahuya that is going to be that deep. So we just need to take each one lightly.
Yeah, all it takes is one Jeep to go into the middle of this and spin their large 36s for a few minutes, and you end up with a very, very deep hole.
Correct. 36s are small nowadays. You're talking
that's
45.
true. I'm sorry, my mistake.
Be very careful right here.
Is there a stump?
Yeah, you're going to want to go.
You know what? I can see the stump in my in-car.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, just keep that angle right there.
Yeah. Okay, so in Iceland, I did get ice up just past the Subaru logo on the front. Not in this specific car. That was actually in a Crosstrek. Okay. Crosstrek hybrid, actually.
Highly unlikely to get it near the intake, but
yep,
it is possible.
All it takes is once.
Yeah.
So I am keeping this in dirt snow mode, and we're going to see how deep this is. I think it'll be fine. We just don't want to be surprised. Also, we don't want to find a boulder under there. Okay, easy.
Okay, let's give this a shot. Ryan went through it, no problem. Like I said, most likely not that deep, but there is always that risk, so we just kind of have to be careful.
One of these roots can just take out a very large piece of bumper very quickly. Your alignment's great. Both your exhaust tips went fully under. So this next section we had to bypass because I believe our trucks were too big to safely navigate it. So hopefully smaller crossovers like this will be advantageous on this particular section.
Do you think you're going to need a spot on that just to make sure you don't hit that tree?
I think I'm good so far. I'll let you know if that status changes. The nice thing is that today this surface is actually has a little bit more grab because it's moist, but it's not soaking wet. And because of that, lateral sliding isn't as big of an issue, at least not right here. Oh boy, as he starts laterally sliding. So the issue here is that I'm about this far away from a stump. If the vehicle just starts to slide, then I'm just going to bump into it. There's nothing I can do. So I'm going to go tight. I'm going to make sure that my mirror, so I can see what's going on. Oh, hey there.
He does it.
Whew.
I'm just trying to cut it wide so I don't hit that root ball. Made it through that one. Now this one is the one that scares me a little bit. So we'll try to get through this one, no problem. We got Ryan outside, luckily.
I'm concerned about your approach.
Right.
You stay concerned with that. I'm going to be concerned with this. I would suggest straightening there, yeah, and try to climb up a little. You got lots of room. Straighten,
no.
maybe? Are you good? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. It wasn't too bad.
It's a lot more, that definitely gives you a sense of peace and like tranquility when you have someone outside watching. When there's no one outside, you're like,
It is a little more nerve-wracking.
I can't see over there.
Yeah.
Have you ever off-roaded just by pure hope? You're just like, I hope there's not.
Oh
anything
yeah,
there.
I've definitely you're like, I think this is fine.
Yeah, don't let the
hey!
don't let the manufacturer see that statement.
No, that was with my own personal vehicle, of course.
Right.
Okay, this looks like fun. I'll bet my Subaru can get over this, and I don't think your Toyota will.
I mean, how much money do you want to put on it? Because I think it'll get over it. I do think the Toyota might be scraping a little bit, but I might need your help, so we'll see. I'm gonna get out and see how you do.
Thanks, yeah, I definitely could use a spotter, that's for sure. I'm also gonna set this up for snow dirt, which I think we were already in, just to verify, yep. It would be nice if I could actually see what mode I'm in at the same time that camera is on, but I can't. Somebody has clearly been through here and they stacked some rocks up, which will help with a little bit of grip to get over that stump. And then there's just a whole bunch of stumps, and I'm a little concerned that RAV4 is gonna, I don't even know if the approach angle is gonna allow it to get over this stump. But let's stop worrying about the RAV4. Let's think more about this Subaru. So, X mode type 1, camera on, keep an eye on what's happening. I do like having the camera up here, if for no other reason than it helps keep my eye line right where I need it to be. So I'm going to align with those rocks. I'm going to put the little thing right over there. And I'm just going to place my wheel on it because I'm not sure if my approach angle is going to be good enough. How's my approach angle looking?
Yeah, you're good. Do you want to climb up those rocks right there?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. Keep that angle.
Really? Really?
You're good.
I'm a little worried about breakover. We good on breakover?
You're good on this side.
Is there there's a stump down there?
Hold on, stop. Okay, straight.
I see the stump. Got X mode kicking in. Okay, I'm turning to avoid the stump in the front there. I think oh, how close is that stump? It is really close. Turning radius for the win. And I think we're clear, right? Yes! Ah! Let's see if the RAV4 can do that.
It's going to be interesting. So I just tried to spot him through that. We have had rain recently, so all the roots and rocks are all pretty wet. And with these tires not having a ton of wet traction in this type of situation, maybe they're good on road, but off-road they seem to be a little bit slippery in wet conditions. So hopefully Ryan can take me on a little bit better of a line than I took him, so that way we do not hit our side rocker panel, because that is slippery, that root, and also I have it seems like a lot less ground clearance.
What off-road mode are you in?
Right now I'm in rock and dirt.
Okay, that's a good place to start. I was in the equivalent in the Subaru.
Yeah, rock and dirt. It does seem like it needs a lot of pedal input, just to move.
Yeah.
But then once you're past like an obstacle, it just like, it snaps and you go too fast. So I almost have to
I know, it's really tricky. That's why people always online on the comments are like, why did you put the brakes on? It's because otherwise it's gonna just launch me over.
Right, with how the, well, luckily this is a true transmission.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a CVT where it's just constantly wound up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to double foot it and see if that helps.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You're good? Okay, stop. Okay, now this way. That way a little bit. Okay. No, that way. Yeah, right there. Now up.
A lot of pedal input.
And keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And
Sorry, I'm trying to be gentle.
okay, set it down. Okay, you're good, you're good. Okay, now go that way. Okay, now go straight still, go straight still. Okay, and from there, stop. Hard passenger. Slow, real slow. You're good. Okay, straight. How much ground clearance does that thing have?
8.6.
Nobody can tell you that there is no difference between 8.6 and 9.2. We have found now 2 obstacles where you are scraping by, like literally scraping by.
Yeah, that was a literal scrape by.
Yeah, so what did you think of this?
Honestly, you led me through it. I can't see anything. I mentioned how the Subaru has a lot better visibility from the driver cockpit.
Yeah, and not even necessarily with the camera. It has more of a sloped nose, so you can kind of get a better idea.
Right.
You get feet of
even when we first got that Subaru, and I just hopped in it the other day when it got delivered, and the first thing I noticed is how much visibility there is. That windshield is a lot more straight up and down. The hood isn't as long. The Toyota RAV4, I just can't see a lot. Now, if it had like a trail, you'd think with a TRD Off-Road package, you have some sort of camera system.
And considering on the 2022 MSRPs for these two, you're looking at what was it?
No, it's almost $8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah, so
no trail cam.
$8,000 difference.
Well, I have to say, I am impressed that it got over that, because that's a real world actual traction issue.
But if you did not have a spotter, you're not getting over that.
You're turning around and going home.
Well, I do want to say this before the comments blow up. You can probably get through without a spotter, but I promise you, you will scrape or you'll be getting out every 5 seconds.
Absolutely.
Because you can't see a whole lot out of that.
Absolutely.
So
the trail continues on, so let's see what's next.
Cool.
And our adventure continues. That was fun. And it wasn't very long before we finally found a deep water crossing. There's so many sticks around here, I'm thinking we're not the only ones to do this. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so let's measure that to the Subaru. I mean, I've done worse. I'd keep a nice bow wave. The problem is we don't know what's down there. We don't know if it's worse. Whenever you see a press event or like some, current driver, even us, if we go through something this deep, it's because we pre-ran it in a vehicle that has more ground clearance. And we don't happen to have one of those with us today. Oh well, onward. Now that the forest has opened up, let's see what these things can do on a wider road. So the Forester Wilderness does have a softer suspension setup than the standard Forester. However, I find it to still be pretty good on highways. And even here on a forest road, yeah, it's actually really good. It's soft. I'm kind of curious how it compares against that TRD. Because, whoa, this is fantastic.
So this has the TRD tuned suspension from Toyota. Now, I don't know what it's tuned for, but it is pretty stiff. I'm gonna be honest, for an off-road model, it's pretty dang stiff. You can feel every pothole, every bump. Now that may have something to do with the tires it has on it,
Switch vehicles?
Yeah, let's do it. I want your take on the TRD quote-unquote tuned suspension.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
We'll just pass these awesome side-by-sides and then switch out. I think there's a wider spot over here.
Like I was saying, I do believe that this suspension is pretty stiff for being an off-road tuned suspension. Do you think it'd have a little bit more forgiveness on things like a dirt road like we're on? I'm gonna have Ryan hop in here and see what he thinks. And from what I've heard, that Subaru does feel softer than this.
Okay. Wow, this is different. You know, this seat actually cradles me pretty nicely. I like that.
There's a huge difference between that Toyota and this. Like just the space, how it feels in here, even just the seat. Isn't that seat kind of stiff in that Toyota?
Yeah, it's stiff, but it cradles me more.
Copy that. So I'm gonna head back and I want to see how this suspension feels. I'm thinking, oh, right off the bat, it's already softer.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How do you have all your fillings still?
Well, I don't think I have any fillings, to be honest with you, but if I did, they'd be gone. Immediately softer in here. Wow.
I am shocked at how stiff this is.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said it was stiff.
Oh, he wasn't. I feel every little thing in like the top of my head. Ugh.
All right, let's get this thing up to speed and see how it feels. Oh my gosh. All right, it's a little more bucky in the back, but that was quite a big bump. But already, I mean, this is so much smoother. Man, this feels more like a suspension you'd want for off-roading. A little bit more forgiving on dirt roads like this. It's gonna be a little bit softer for like flexing and off-road purposes. So that's one for the Subaru. It's a very impressive. Very impressive.
Whoa. You know, it does absorb the big bumps pretty nicely though. And actually at speed here, it does a pretty good job of damping, but oh man, I do prefer the Subaru on a road like this. Oof. Yeah. Okay, I want to get back into the Subaru. Let's pull off. Okay, well, let's hit the next section of the trail and then we'll close this out.
You getting back in there?
Yeah, I'm getting back in here.
Dang it.
Let's see how this thing feels in the corners as we cut it in and throttle. Ooh, nice. I like the final drive on this one. It's a revised final drive over the standard Forester, which gives it more grunt low down, which is exactly where you want it. Doesn't make the vehicle any faster, but it does give you more power from start. It's really kind of amazing all the things that Subaru did to make a Wilderness. They just didn't slap a logo on. This is a very different vehicle. Woo-hoo! Love it. Throttle, yes! And this is with traction control on. Ha! With the sun going down and the rain starting, it's time to call today a wrap. Now I think we had a lot of great experiences with both these vehicles. I do think that the Subaru just did better. And really it comes down to the extra ground clearance. 9.2 does make a difference. That Toyota RAV4 rubbed in 2 spots that the Subaru did not rub in. However, it was totally fine getting over the difficult obstacles. The biggest issues were really just mechanicals. The approach angle is worse on the RAV4. Departure angle, breakover, all of that is better with the Subaru.
In conclusion, I think the TRD RAV4 is a great vehicle, but I do believe that the Subaru is just as good a vehicle, but it's $8,000 cheaper. Now, I do think that the interior in the Subaru is nice. This is a lot more refined and more luxury feeling with this big screen here. The TRD tuned suspension works great at high speeds, but anything other than just bombing a dirt road, it definitely seems to be pretty dang stiff. And the Subaru, on the other hand, is a lot more forgiving, but you do bottom out more. So all in all, I think if I were to pick between the two, I can't believe I'm saying this, it would be the Subaru. I'm supposed to be the Toyota guy.
I know I'm going to get this question, even though this video isn't what it's all about, but would I pick this or would I pick the Outback? I think the Outback, especially the XT, is a better long-distance cruiser. This one is much better for stuff like this. It comes down to dimensions, front overhang, and you just don't need turbo power for roads like this. You just don't. I am not missing horsepower. I'm not missing torque. The revised final drive does a great job. I know I have X mode to get me out of tricky situations. You know, it's just a great package. And on that, we're going to end this episode. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy them. And special note, if you want to see more Forester stuff, yeah, Subaru loaned this one to us for about 3 months. So we are going to shoot a bunch of videos. But don't worry, we're putting out so much content right now, it's not going to feel like the Forester channel. Just trust me on that.